Oof.
Yes, please.
I wrote a song then. It was actually sad, but I was happy inside.
Well,
so that's okay.
You.
Yeah.
What about a sad song? What about a happy song where you're sad inside? Can you do that one?
Yeah,
anyway,
I absolutely can. I'll do that at the end.
Welcome back to Andertons TV. Thank you for joining us today.
Hello.
We are going to talk about the Boss RV-200. But before we do...
Please like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. Every 10,000 new subscribers, you win something. And when we hit 1 million, which hopefully be very soon, not this year, but you can win a real clon. It would be cool if we could do it this year. Maybe we can buy subscribers.
Let's
just buy subscribers.
Let's just buy some.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Boss have a 200 series of pedals. There are several other...
and good pedals.
You know, whether you want overdrives or modulations or delays or whatever. Now there's a reverb.
And EQ as well. I've done the videos on my channel, if you want to watch that.
So I guess the concept behind RV-200 is it sort of bridges that gap between a sort of a compact pedal that's sort of one effect that you switch on and off, and some of the much more highly programmable multi-effects units that are out there.
Yeah.
Kind of sits in the middle.
500
series.
So
RV-200, I'll give you the top line specs here. So class leading sound quality, 32-bit ADDA, 32-bit floating point processing.
32-bit floating?
And 96 kilohertz sampling rate. I don't even know if any of
No, but that's the best
not.
you can get.
Is it?
Float, 32 float and 96. I think it's the best, isn't it? At the moment? Yeah, I don't think you can get it
Coca-Cola float and 96 kilohertz. Right.
Yeah.
12 distinctive reverb types. Fast, easy operation with hands-on control. That's what it says here. Whether it is or not,
I like fast, hands, no hands-on. 4
presets that you can get to by using the switches on the pedal. 127 if you have a MIDI setup and you want to recall your patches via
I'm not
MIDI.
buying. It's not 128. I'm not getting.
I don't know. Yeah, normally I thought MIDI was 128. Yeah. Hey, it says 127 here.
It should be 128.
As you perhaps heard in that opening jam here, we've got the sort of trails or spillover, carryover, whatever you want to call it. Stereo in and out.
MIDI in and out.
Yeah.
MIDI jack, MIDI, USB.
We got things like expressive hold, warp, and twist effects. There's a song by
Hold, warp, and twist.
and
Wheeler
shout.
Walker
If you
Jr.
hold, warp, twist, and shout.
That's Wheeler Walker Jr.'s new song, isn't it?
What else can we do on this? Connect and control multiple 200 series pedals via MIDI, or any MIDI pedal for that matter. Panel lock function to avoid accidental sound changes, and runs on a battery or
That's for
mains
Mick
supply.
that's for Mick and Dan, that one, because they
Absolutely.
keep putting the boost on when in the middle of nothing. They just keep the boost
The
on.
relentless assault of
On Mick and Dan
Mick
and their boost pedals
So
before, after the drive.
Let's go through each of the 12 reverb effects. We've got a selection of relatively standard reverbs, room, hall, plate, spring, that kind of stuff, and then we go into some slightly more
Can you read that?
unusual ones.
Can you
Only
read that?
just,
Only
I must
just?
admit. I reckon give it another 6 or 7 and I will not be able to read anything on this
Just eat some carrots. So every time I eat a carrot, because it
counter-affects it,
counter
does it?
affects
Brilliant.
it. Actually, I eat
There
a
you go.
carrot
Tip of the
while
cap.
so.
I want to know. Fantastic.
Great stuff. Today we are running 2 Victory amps in stereo straight into the front of them. I'm playing this Chapman ML.
What does it sound like
Classic.
with Nout, taken out?
Nout. So it's all clean.
Brilliant. Okay, right.
Is that an overdrive on there?
We've got a
That
driver,
sounds good,
blues
doesn't it?
driver, a Wazza blues driver for that matter, if we want to add some drive. Let's
The carrot
start
drive.
with room for no reason other than it's the first one in the manual.
Shall I turn it on as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So time, pre-delay, effect level, pretty self-explanatory. Low and high, pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Param is different depending on the reverb algorithm.
You have to be careful with pre-delay. You can get people pregnant like that.
Can you?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That stuff.
So on the right, let's just tell you what this one is. Everybody. The parameter button here is different for each of the 12 reverbs, and some of the screen displays are slightly more obvious than others, but on the room type you'll see it's going from
Large, medium.
Yeah, ambient, snail,
Saturday Night Live.
Ned.
Ned.
Clearly,
Ned Schneebly from School of Rock.
Let's just lob some critical hand grenades in here. Boss still using LCD displays from the 1970s, meaning that
From Soviet jet planes.
obviously
in the 70s.
where you can't write an an M because you haven't got enough space, so you have to write an N instead. But there you go, you'll get used to this. So let's start then with some room reverb.
I do like it though, it's going to come back in, isn't it? Like really
like
tight
retro
jeans.
LCD displays.
Exactly.
It's an enormous room.
Yeah, that is an enormous room. Reminds me I need to call the wife.
I tell you what, Mr. Pete, I've noticed here that we've got the time here set at 8 out of 10 cats.
Yeah.
And it's too much for a room reverb. It's basically, even though we're in a room mode, it's basically a whole reverb, isn't it? So there you go.
I like the thing where if you turn the knob, it's just increments of 1. If you hold and turn the knob, increments of 10. That sounds good.
Pre-delay on a reverb pedal, if you're not familiar with that, is that momentary delay before the reverb comes in. So again, you adjust that to taste. I tend to like not much pre-delay, so I just like the reverb to be instantly there.
Yeah.
But I think if you're playing a lot of rhythm stuff and things, and you don't want it to get too muddy with the delay, you might have a slight sort of pause.
Rhythm stuff, I would say if you're doing like some... Now I've turned it all the way up. Hang on. Oh, there you go.
I don't really know. Anyway,
let's
I'm
turn it
not
down.
a big user of
reverb. You're the biggest
pre-delay.
Yeah. No, not anymore. I think that sounds great, man.
Too long on a boring reverb. Let's go to the next one.
It's not boring. Are you going that way around? So you're going clockwise? Yeah. I like anti-clockwise. I like to be a bit different than the establishment. So what's this one here?
This is a whole reverb. I'm going to leave everything...
So not that different, really.
That's what I mean. It's an unusual... Room reverb you normally associate with a much sort of like being in a bathroom kind of thing.
Yes.
You get that much brighter, shorter reverb. Hall
I'm sure you can set that. What's the parameter do here? Again,
Hall does small, medium, and large.
I see. All right, there we go. Okay, okay. So that's small.
So I think I don't normally have medium or large.
That's 20, isn't it? And 20 is not large in Italian. It's 20. Just ask Paul Rudd.
You've been watching Paul Rudd videos, yes.
That's cool, man. I like that. So, but that's the large one.
Yeah.
So where's my time is for making it bigger, right?
It's a nice clean reverb, isn't it?
That's nice.
Yeah.
So I think this is what Boss does really well. They do that
clean, big reverb.
Big reverb.
Yeah.
And non-offensive. You know what I mean? It's just good.
And I like actually the way that
Everybody
I'm sitting there going, I'd quite like a bit more brightness on there. I
Yeah.
haven't got to deep edit, find a parameter, I just turn the high control up. It just adds a little bit of brightness to the reverb. I'm going to my favourite reverb now.
I'm a naughty boy,
Plate reverb.
Plate.
And then we can again, so the parameter now is numeric going from -50 to +50. Okay, so it's adjusting the damping of the... we can make it very dark or very bright.
No, it's the length, isn't it? It's the girth, you would say.
Oh yeah.
It's damping, basically. What's a bit of shimmer on there? Is that the top end of it?
It's that metallicness of a plate reverb that probably sounds
get those highs
shimmery.
down. Let's go highs down. Oh, that's nice. I like that.
Oh,
it's sort of secret. You know what I mean? It's secret delay, a reverb. you know what I mean? It embraces you from below.
I wonder on this particular effect if it's worth talking about this density feature here.
Destiny.
Seems an unusual. Apparently, this is ported over from the 500 series, but idea being is that we can make any of these reverbs denser. So here's a not very dense plate. And here's a very dense plate. It's a very subtle effect. I think
it's almost like a brightness. There's almost like a brightness to it, isn't there? It's like.
No, I think it's just the bigness of it. It's a difficult word to describe.
It's like a cuddle.
Perhaps density is a good word. Is it like fog? Is it dense fog or?
It's like a good fog or bad fog.
I have no idea. Right,
or
let's
just a
move
medium
on.
kind of.
Okay, now we're moving on to Pete's least favourite Boss reverb.
Yeah, but this is controversial. I just think
it's
that
not controversial. It's
not
useful.
I think spring is the reverb that is most difficult to get right. In my opinion, digitally,
yes,
recreated. I think the best digitally create spring reverbs is the Fender in the Tone Master. I think still Do you know when we had the Fender Tone Master thing? I think they really nailed the whole convoluted or whatever it's called. I think they nailed that the way that the spring.
It's hang on, let me just.
Convolution.
Yeah, it's not convoluted or convalescence as I called it once.
Yeah,
it's convolution. In other words, it's an IR.
Yeah,
reverb. But I agree that. Boss spring reverbs. Do you know what? Boss did a Fender reverb, a pedal with Fender works, didn't they?
It's over
Which
there.
I think probably was the best one that they did.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's really, if you want a pedal that does great spring reverb, it's Strymon Flint.
Flint is
does it
probably
well.
nail it really well. But it's not bad. It's not bad. I'm always really. It's just not my favourite thing.
Yeah. Way too.
It's almost like I want the spring to be bigger. And the springs to go more, if that makes any sense at all. It just feels like, I know it's metallic. I know springs are supposed to be metallic.
So we can have more or less springs. So that's a 3-spring tank.
So yeah, I'll have 3 springs like this, okay?
Or a 1-spring. There's a little bit of clang maybe on the 2.
But the clang is too quick.
Yeah.
It's too. I wish we could slow the clang down.
Yeah.
It's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there are, in my opinion, there.
I think it's its weakest reverb.
Yeah, because you want that. You want that. It's not bad, but you want that fatness.
Yeah.
Maybe you can turn down up the lows a little bit. Where's the time?
I think as soon as you go past 2 or 3, it's too long.
I want time to stretch the.
Yes.
I want the.
You know what?
Anyway,
let's move on.
It's still. I think it's not bad.
I don't want to dwell on the bit we like least about it. So let's go. Do you like that?
No, I don't like it. I think it's an awful joke.
Okay, so Shimmer, again, the parameter control now does the release.
So here, I'm just taking the density back down.
Okay.
Because now it was stuck to where we were before.
Okay.
Actually, just go back to the reverb, to the spring.
You want a dense. I don't understand this density control.
There's definitely a difference. It still could be slightly slower. Anyway, Shimmer, density off. Little flute.
Yeah, this is one where maybe actually I might want a bit more of the pre-delay in there because I quite like the idea of the Shimmer comes in a bit later.
Yes.
So let's see.
And now, Danish Pete's 3-second review.
It feels like being followed around with a little boy with a flute.
Thanks for watching Danish Pete's 3-second review.
And a scary one.
Okay, the
That's a good pedal.
Arpverb is the arpeggiated reverb now, which I think we used right at the beginning.
Arp.
Which is always a fun one, again, for a sort of slightly more, soundscapey effect.
If you say so.
Why don't you like the density? I was just leaving it halfway.
I just want to hear it normally without the... Yeah, I prefer that to Shimmer. That sounds good.
I think that these kind of arpeggiated reverbs and the bigger, more soundscapey reverbs is kind of where I think that it's the guitar player trying to achieve that is going to be drawn to a pedal like this. You might look at it and you see all the pro guys out there, and perhaps they've got Strymon timeline, Big Skies on their boards, and maybe you just can't afford that. And this is very much kind of offering you a taste of that kind of functionality and that sort of selection of effects. But
that's only got a bad
kind
small
of dough.
delay as well on it.
It has. Yeah, it must be something about LCD screens and great sounding reverbs. But that's kind of the vibe. I think it's probably the guy that wants a really simple reverb pedal.
Yeah,
is maybe just going to look at something like a Blue Sky.
Yeah. Or this? Why not this? It's less money, but it does more stuff, and it's smaller. It's kind of the same size.
Yeah.
You got all the MIDI stuff and everything for 200 plus quid, not 400 quid or whatever the Blue Sky is.
Let's try. So SlowVerb is a sound with a gentle attack and a soft harmonic.
Oh, nice. Oh.
That reminds me. Muscle Wife.
Muscle Wife, yeah. It's completely the opposite. Also, it's giving me a...
If I turn the direct level down, which is what the parameter does, you'll get more... So you lose the initial guitar tone and you just hear the reverb swelling.
Oh, yes, this is... It's like me doing that, or I get somebody to do it for me, which is, of course.
Might be my favourite one so far. I mean,
I'd
like
that,
the last couple. Well, I was just thinking that, didn't we? Wasn't there like that Electro-Harmonix Pico attack thing, which is just that attack effect, and that was 100 and I can't remember now, 120 quid, something like that.
Yes,
so you're almost going for the price of two of those pedals. You get all of these 12 different effects. But okay, So next one is a modulated reverb, where the parameter button does the modulation depth.
Okay.
So let's turn that up.
So I'm shaking the neck, but I don't have to do that.
Modulating in stereo, he says, staring in the direction. You think
sounds
so?
like it, yeah.
Yes,
Sounds
our
like
producer
it.
says it's modulated in stereo. Okay.
That's nice. I like the modulation is there when I'm keeping the chord going.
Next we have reverb with delay, and the parameter button does the delay level. On this particular patch now, as you adjust the size of the reverb, it will make the delay longer as well. So you don't have independent control on the two.
Okay.
You've just got to find one that suits you.
But I guess you can just turn it over or down, right?
Sounds
great.
good. Right, lo-fi is a reverb with an element of distortion in it. So, and the parameter button controls the distortion. So let's turn that up.
It's like my mind, this lo-fi. Wow, that has a snap to it, didn't it? Like me. Let's just
Sounds
take
like
that
a
down.
banjo.
It's almost like, I would say it's almost like a gated fuzz kind of.
Spitty fuzz.
And without. Sounds great, man. I like that.
Two more to go.
Sorry
A
about
gated reverb now. So again, where the parameter control adjusts the threshold of the gate.
So that's when you keep playing. And when I stop.
It gets rid of the reverb as soon as
Yeah,
you
it
stop.
does.
Okie dokie. And lastly is a reversed reverb.
This is what I call the poltergeist, you know, where the good little girl is on the TV and you got that old scary priest speaking. What's her name? Come in here. And he's like... Do you see what I'm saying? That's probably what they did back then with the effect.
What?
It's exactly what it is.
know you like that one, but we must move on. There's only really one other main feature to tell you, and that's this hold function. Just in case you were wondering as well, you know, in standard mode, the 2 foot switches, one is a conventional on and off, and the other one will scroll through the 4. But if I hold this down, we go into what is now called a hold function.
Needs to be on, right?
Yeah, needs to be on. We need to probably find. Are you gone back to? So we find a big epic reverb that we like. Pete's chosen the Arpverb, and then if I press the hold button, it'll take a small snapshot of what Pete is playing and then sort of loop it in perpetuity, and then you can just sort of noodle over the top. So it gives a chord.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, again, maybe we could.
I mean, this sounds great. The whole thing sounds really, really good. I'm enjoying myself.
The other thing that I read on this as well is that unlike a lot of reverb and delay pedals that have that kind of freeze function, you can still apply reverb to the guitar, the guitar sound over the top of that. Okay,
I'll turn that off.
That, ladies and gents, is the Boss RV-200.
That's good. I like it.
In a world where your choice of pedal to do a desired effect has never been greater.
No.
I think I see where this sits. Like I said, probably halfway through the video, it's not a simple on-off, find a great reverb, you know, never switch it. Where I think probably products like the.
Well, I think you can.
Sky,
I think you can. I think I want to. No, I don't agree with that, Lee.
Okay,
I think you can use a nice. If you have 4 effects here, you can do a nice little sort of whole plate sort of reverb that you just put on. Nice.
Yeah.
You can do that.
No,
I'm
not saying you can't do that. I'm just
but it
saying,
can do more. You know, it does more with it.
Yeah. I think I see this being appealing to someone that's probably got a little MIDI board set up and does actually want to really dive into some of the more experimental reverbs.
I mean, yeah, maybe. You got look. I mean, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, now I have to hold it.
Hold it down.
See, so I've got 4. I've basically got 5 because I've got the first one here, which I assume was set, right. And then you got 5. So that's a lot right here on this one switch.
I'm not saying it's not.
I mean, yes, you are.
No, I'm saying. I think I'm saying that if you decided that on your board had like just a Flint or what's another really popular, really simple reverb pedal, like some of the new Neighbor stuff.
Yeah.
Or, you know, it's just like you just want to get one nice reverb sound and turn it on.
Turn on. That's it. Yeah.
These, I don't know if these are in stock on the day of release. I believe they will be. But anyway, links below to find out more about it on the Andertons website. Order one if you wish. You
can buy the guitars and the amps as well. And the link below. And this pedal.
And this, yes. Thank you very much for watching. And we'll see you next time.
What you can buy is sexiness.